Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Let me take off my glasses. So I was going to talk about relationship, but y'all, I tried that video 4 times. 4 times. Either it just wasn't the right opening or greeting, or somebody called me and interrupted me because I didn't have my phone on airplane mode. That happened twice. This morning I was talking and I got to work and somebody approached me and we started talking. So I just scrapped the whole idea. I was talking about what are your dating obstacles. What have you found to be your obstacles in dating? But, and I share a little story time, but you know, we're going to put that on the back burner. I will talk about that. I won't forget. We'll talk about that sometime this week. But right now we're just going to have a little unedited chat, because maybe that there is just something else, you know, that I'm supposed to say, because you can call it coincidence if you want. You can call it happenstance, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not superstitious at all, but I am intuitive that I try not to force things. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. And if I try doing a video and either I keep messing up, or I lose my train of thought, or I get interrupted, sometimes I just say, you know what, Deidre, it's just not time for that video to come out. It's just not time for that message. There's another message, you know, that supersedes that, or there's something else that perhaps God wants to say through me to somebody. And inevitably, someone always tell me, Deidre, your message was right on time. Deidre, I was just talking about this with my friend. Deidre, I was just thinking about this. Deidre, I was just in prayer about this. So I try to be intuitive when it comes to not just YouTube, but just basically in life. I try not to force what doesn't fit, or I try not to keep pressing towards something that's giving me pushback. And I don't know if that makes sense, but so I just say, you know what? I don't know what's going on with that message or that story, but hey, I'll wait, put it on the back burner, and maybe there's some added wisdom that I need to add to that, or maybe there's something that I might not need to say. So and I just encourage you that in life, don't force. By the way, if I didn't say, this is just unedited chat, but in life, don't force what's just not fitting. I mean, there's a difference between being persevering, being an advocate for yourself in certain situations. There's a difference in being in pressing towards your goals, etc. That's totally different from just totally trying to force something that does not fit. Force something that is not for you. And maybe it's just not for you for the time being. And a lot of times that's what we don't understand. That's a lot of times what we misunderstand. That's where sometimes we miss the mark. That just because your blessing is delayed does not mean blessing denied. Just because the timing is not right now doesn't mean that it's not going to be for later. There's a time and a season and a purpose and all of that for everything, and it's all working out for your good. So don't force these relationships that are not working. And I don't care whether it's a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Well, I don't want to say husband and wife, because that's kind of a little, you know, tricky area there. You got to really, really try in your marriage. If you made that commitment and that covenant, you need to stay there and try. And if you ever walk away from that covenant, you say, I have done everything. I left everything on the table. I did everything. I mean, I prayed, I talked, I cried, I went to counseling, and then I turned around and prayed and did it again. And then I looked inward at myself and say, what am I doing? How can I make this better? Okay, so in a covenant relationship, as far as marriage, it ain't just easy to walk away and say, oh well, it didn't fit, don't force it, let me go on to the next. Oh, that one didn't fit, so let me go on to my third one. That one didn't fit, let me go on to my fourth one. No, I'm not talking about a covenant relationship like that. But a lot of times that boyfriend girlfriend type relationship, we're forcing these situationships. Yeah, we'll talk about that's a whole nother video too. That's gonna be another one. Are you in a situationship or a relationship? Because we are forcing some of these situationships, and that's all there is. And it's because of fear of being alone. A lot of times it's just fear of being alone and fear of other stuff. Fear of looking and feeling unworthy. Just a little quick story. When I was single, I'm not gonna lie. There were times that in my life, the thought would come to me, people are going to think that I'm not lovable. People are going to think that I'm unworthy. People are going to think that I'm gay. And I didn't care if people thought I was gay or not, because unlike maybe I won't say a whole lot of Christians, maybe some Christians, bash gay and lesbian, but honey, I do just like Jesus do. I love you, and I love you right where you are. But I was like, people gonna think I'm gay because the fear of not seeming lovable. So I know a lot of times, we force these situationships out of fear of loneliness and fear of our value being diminished because we don't have someone with us to say that we're valuable. But you are valuable. So don't force a situationship. Sometimes we're forcing a situation at your job. And again, we stay at these jobs because of fear. Fear rules our life sometimes and definitely can ruin our life. And I'm not going to tell you that I've overcome. Sometimes I get fearful. And I know God did not give me the spirit of fear, but of love and of a sound mind. But honey, he didn't give me that spirit of fear, but it comes upon me at times. So we just, we force those situationships because of fear or whatever. And sometimes we need to just not try and force it. Sometimes it can just be a pure friendship, total platonic friendship. But sometimes we're forcing these friendships. Our friends don't value us, are mistreating us, or using us, and we allow it to go on and on and on in the name of love, because that's my friend and I value my friend. Well, you may value your friend, but it definitely does not seem like your friend may value you. So in these situationships, relationships where you're not being valued, then don't force it. So we got to know whether it's in personal relationships or in a job. Now, when it comes to your money, you have to make a plan. You can't just, I won't say you can't. Some people do just up and give up, their job without a plan. And hey, if you got that kind of fearlessness, awesome, because I need some of that. But a lot of times you got to make a plan, especially if you have financial obligations and responsibilities. You have to make a plan. But don't force relationships and situationships. Now, I don't know how I got there. And at this point, I can't reel it back in and remember what I originally was talking about. So maybe that was for somebody. Maybe that's why I couldn't talk about the other subject, because maybe that was for someone. This is just unedited chat, so that was not even in my mind to say. So maybe it was for someone. That kind of reminds me. Now I can go backwards. When I was talking about the video, and I realized that after the fourth try of me trying to talk about dating and the dating obstacles, after about the fourth try, I realized that this video ain't gonna happen right now. but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen later. And that's the same thing I want to encourage you in your life. That just because something is not happening right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen later. Sometimes you have to just kind of switch gears and just say, what would you have me to do right now? How would you have me to handle this situation right now? So maybe that was what this video was all about. I hope that it was able to bless you. If you were able to glean anything, or if it was able to bless you, I ask that you give me a thumbs up. If you keep coming back to the blessed place but don't know why, I ask you to go ahead and click that subscribe button. Stop trying to figure out why. Don't resist what God's got for you. And if you are a blessed one, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I appreciate you guys. I thank you for just being not just part of an awesome community, but making this an awesome community. All right, you guys, that's my word for today. Tomorrow is hump day. And I hope you all have a blessed evening and a blessed hump day. If I don't come back to you all tomorrow, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about the dating obstacles and I share my little story, or maybe I will have something else for you, or maybe I won't be here at all on YouTube. Who knows? All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.